Welcome back. It is 1632. In the last one, Muriel became a teenager. Sophronia has come to our rescue, and drama is heating up in the Metacomet family. Also, Solomon and Bernard got caught by Elliot. So many things coming to a head. Let's start with our birthday rolls. We have Amity Hobart and Chayton Waldrick, both becoming toddlers. No 4, 8, or 17. All good, all good. Okay. Then we have Ahanu Metacomet and Esther Hobart becoming children, no 13 or 19. Good and good. Oh my gosh, I forgot that all of our kids' birthdays are today. Oh my gosh, I hope none of them die. Philip Hobart, Abigail de Mohun, Priscilla de Mohun, and Abraham Larkin. Can't get a 7 or a 14. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, we're on number 3. Who's number 3? Oh my gosh, and number 4. No. Priscilla and Abraham? Abraham was going to be my problematic king. Abraham. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Maybe we'll try and plead for them. We'll see where we go with that. I'm not sure yet. I did add the pleading odds here. I know I've been doing them wrong. Every time you guys tell me them, I don't write it down and then I forget and then I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, Odalina Hobart, no 2, 6, 11, or 15. Is she going to survive? She is, to wreak havoc another day. And then Miles Hobart the second, 3 years. 1, 2, 3. Miles Hobart will be dying. Why did none of that work? Miles to Hobart dying. Okay. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that both Priscilla and Abraham. We're just going to have no boys left. That's the problem. Like, we don't have. He's the only Larkin boy, too. We're not going to have any De Mahoons. We're not going to have any Larkins. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Okay, so is Philip and Abigail both going to get married? Philip. Yes. Abigail. Yes. And are they fertile? I'm just going to roll for fertility, which is a yes and a yes. Okay. So Philip and Abigail. Abigail. Okay, so we'll leave them for now. Wow, I can't believe I'm losing like half my kids today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm losing 2 of them. That's like almost half. Okay, everything's fine. Townies. It's 1632. We have Aquina and then Janice, Jacqueline, and Nyla. So Janice and Jacqueline actually weren't supposed to have their birthdays yet, but they both already aged up into kids like 3 years early. So I'm like, fine, be a child. So, okay. Anyway, let's hop into the game. So we are here with our family, and of course, like I said at the end of the last one, we are dealing with a cursed event. So everything is on fire. My Sims are on fire. Again, I can't even take it anymore with the fires because I am like literally everyone's on fire now, and Christina's having her baby, and I can't take it. Everything's fine. Tabitha has just been born. We're going to move on from that. And we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to go into game options, and we're going to turn off rental unit events because I can't do this. That's like what is starting a lot of the fires, or at least what started like their fear of fire. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, I can't even take it that I started off this video with another fire. It's too many fires for me. It's too many. So we're going to not do that. So meanwhile, we are trying to get everybody cleaned off, but basically, things are going pretty well for Sophronia and the children. They're having a good time. They are kind of settling into a routine where, Sophronia encourages all the kids to help with the chores. Of course, Muriel, skips out on her duties a lot. and Abraham is always off doing something with the boys. But for the most part, we're in a good situation now. Abigail has been doing a lot lately, actually, even though she didn't used to because of her falling out with Muriel. And I think that she's ready to talk to Margaret about it, except there's another fire. My heart can't take it, you guys. Everything is on fire, and I try to ignore it. And then they like the Sims want to catch on fire. They automatically go into the place with the fire and then catch on fire. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, because I'm going to ignore the fire and I'm going to tell you what's happening, is they're all going to catch on fire. Is Abigail is doing a lot better lately. She's doing a lot better in that she is trying to do more chores. She's distancing herself from Muriel a little bit. She's really trying to actually do a bit better because she has realized that Muriel is not her friend. Muriel does not want to, help her in any way. Muriel was just using her and all of that. So she is realizing this to be true. And so I think she feels really bad about, because she's about to be 13. So she's realizing, the difference between some of these things. And she's realizing that she was not as kind to Margaret as she could have been, that Margaret had to deal with a lot and she was not being helpful and all of that stuff. So she's going to come and she's going to talk to Margaret and she's going to apologize for some of the things she does. Like, yes, she's a goofball, but no, she's not malicious. So she is really trying to, reconnect with Margaret and say, like, look, I'm sorry, like, you were always really kind to me and I didn't always reciprocate that. And Muriel was, I was just being led astray. And Margaret gets it, right? Like, Margaret is a lot older than, Abigail and Priscilla and Abraham. But Margaret kind of understands, Abigail is a kid. She's a kid. She was just doing what she thought, was fun with her older sister and everything. So she was just a kid. And she, didn't really know the consequences of her actions in a way. And I think that after the whole thing with Odalina and then Ismay dying, I think she's really grown up a lot. And so Margaret forgives her and they become close and, they are going to work on their relationship. I wouldn't say everything is solved right away, but, she's doing really good. And I thought to myself, okay, we have Priscilla and Abraham dying this year. Now, if I just kill them, Grimm is going to show up. I'm going to have to reset them. If I roll for them, then we're going to be able to bring them back to life, but then they're not in anything anymore. And it's just kind of annoying. So I'm going to preemptively roll to see if pleading would work for them. That is what we're going to do. We're going to age them up. We're going to roll for them using Story Girl's numbers that she provided on how good the odds are, which apparently I've been doing really, really wrong, but that's fine. We are going to do that for Priscilla and for Abraham. And so we're going to age everybody up. And then we are going to kind of come and check the there must be a dog walking by my house currently. But yes, so we're going to do those rolls instead of killing them automatically, just because, like I said, Grimm is so glitchy on this lot. I just don't think it's going to work anyway. So here we have an 8 or a 7 for normal, a 6 or 7 for normal, an 8 to demand, and up to a 10 for confident. And we actually do have a couple confident Sims, and so, but they also rolled a 1 and a 2. So those are, fitting into even my like old standards of what could be the rolls. So those fit no matter what. So they actually both do survive this year, which I'm really happy about. I mean, maybe not so much Priscilla, because she hasn't really done anything yet, but I think Abraham being the only boy, like, he's the only Larkin. And then, of course, did you just see he just rolled not to get married? So I guess it doesn't even really matter. But regardless, I am happy that they both survived. We're going to give all 3 of our new teens makeovers. Priscilla is a proper love bug, and I think that is so cute, and I think that that's actually really fitting for her. I think she is definitely going to be someone who, is very favorable to marry because she's got such a great disposition. And then we have a nosy, athletic Abraham, and then a kleptomaniac goofball in Abigail. So we'll see how those go, but we are going to, see our kids grow up. Everyone is alive currently, and everyone is actually a teenager now, obviously except for Sophronia, but everyone's a teen now. So When is Margaret's birthday? It must be coming up because she's been a teen for quite some time now. When is Margaret's birthday? Oh, nope, not for a while. Not until 1636. Okay, maybe I'm just imagining that she's been a teen for a long time. It just feels like it. Anyway, we are all going to, have a good time in the house, and then we're just going to wait until the next morning to do some more stuff. Oh my gosh, I forgot Sophronia was lactose intolerant, so she's really suffering after eating some cake. But everybody is doing really well right now. Like, yes, Muriel is not causing as much havoc, and Abigail is reflecting on herself, and just everything is kind of going well. Oh my gosh, look at how much Priscilla looks like William. Like, her profile, like the way her like face is shaped is totally William. But yes, so here we are. It is the next morning. There's going to be a church service, and a couple of things are going to happen. The first thing, after, of course, the service where everyone hangs out and everyone's happy and everyone's having a good time, is apparently Elliot and Jane getting engaged. So Elliot has kind of, maybe we'll say that Elliot came to Jane on the slide in the pews and sat next to her and was like, hey, like, I just want you to know that your parents are going to be approving our proposal soon. So we'll get further in that when we play with the Waldricks. But basically, he tells her that they're going to be able to get engaged soon. And then we have Abraham, who is talking to Humphrey. So Humphrey, as you know, is the captain of the guard, and so Abraham wants to be in the guard. He, has been kind of practicing with the boys. He's very much idolized Humphrey and idolized Wymond and all of those people as he's grown up. He really, he's athletic. He wants to do this. And he really wants to get close to Humphrey and, kind of get mentored by him. And so Humphrey is going to kind of take Abraham under his wing because, he's seen him around a lot and he thinks that he's a really hardworking kid. And also his kids are like a little bit younger than Abraham, so he thinks Abraham might be like a good big brother figure to them. So he definitely sees potential in Abraham and is willing to mentor him and, help him foster this, commitment to the community and all of that. Abraham is definitely ambitious in the way that he wants to become captain of the guard someday. He has totally idolized these men for his whole life, and he wants to be just like them. So he does have those aspirations, and Humphrey is happy to work with him on anything because Humphrey loves it when people get involved in the community. He's obviously had problems with his own wife not wanting to be involved as much, but when he sees someone who like is really passionate about it and really, wants to follow in his footsteps, he loves that. And, whether or not that's a good trait or a bad trait, he does. He likes it. He likes that Abraham is so passionate about his future and about the community and about the guard and everything. And he just really wants to foster that feeling in the young people. He wants everyone to want to really serve their community in the way that he wants to. So he likes that Abraham is like him. Also, no, Priscilla, you're not becoming evil. And why would you even? You're just having a pleasant conversation over there. So Priscilla also, I was actually kind of looking through our list, and there's not a lot of guys. But I think we're going to have to enter in some new families, especially considering we've all married these families together, and we are going to need some new townies soon. So if you have any townie families you'd like to upload, I am very excited to play with them because we're going to need them to marry off all these Sims. But, also you saw that like Abraham is not going to get married, so that might put a damper in his plans to kind of be a leader in the community. But anyway, Priscilla is here and she is having a good time, and she is just so friendly and everybody loves her, and she's pretty and like she just has everything going for her. She is very she's very Daphne Bridgerton, I think. She is just lovely and everybody wants to be her friend or wants to, marry her. And, we'll say that even though we don't really have any guys who are available to marry her right now. But Anyway, so we are going to just, say that's what's going on. I really should have thought about that a little harder before I just started playing, but that's okay. So, she's popular. She's in demand. She's having a good time. Everybody loves her. Everything is lovely for Miss Priscilla. So she's doing great. And she's making friends. She's doing all the things. So she's having a good time. She's even making friends with with the girls. She's getting, close with the ladies, and then also obviously she would have many suitors. So that is what we're doing with her. And then we'll head over to the Waldrick's house in just a moment. But for right now, we are just having her hang out, be friendly. I consider all of these kids siblings, even though they're cousins, but like they've grown up together in the same house. So they're siblings. They might as well be. So anyway, we're going to go over to the Waldrick house next. So if you remember from last time, Elliot has seen Solomon and Bernard together. He saw them together. They saw him seeing them together, and obviously Solomon begged him not to say anything, and he knows that his brother is not trustworthy in that way. So he has a talk with Elliot, and he's like, Elliot, like, I know that you're not going to keep this to yourself. I know you won't. And I know you don't care enough about me and about our brotherly bond to not say anything, but I am begging you, do not bring Bernard into this. You can say whatever you want about me, but please do not bring Bernard into this issue that you have with me. I'll give you anything you want. You want the house? You can have it. You want the money? You can have it. Like, I promise I will never marry. You will be the heir. Like, just please leave Bernard out of this. And so Elliot is really thinking about this because, he knows that he's going to say something. I mean, he's basically told the Phelpses that he's going to say something. He told Jane that something's going to happen. Like, he knows that he is not going to keep his mouth shut about this. He knows he's going to try and destroy his brother so that he can take everything from him. And even if Solomon gives it to him, like, that's not good enough at this point. So you have to really think about Elliot's character. Like, he's a kleptomaniac, right? And he has always been jealous of his eldest brother, Bertram. Now, he was always jealous of Bertram, but Bertram left, and then Solomon became the heir in, like, this household. So before, Elliot and Solomon had a good relationship because they were on even playing field. They were both, younger brothers of, the heir, and they weren't really going to get much, and they were just on the same page. And so Solomon didn't really have anything that Elliot wanted. But now that Bertram left, now it's a situation where Solomon is the only thing standing in between Elliot and the heir position, inheriting the house, inheriting the fortune, all of that stuff. So he knows that Solomon is kind of in his way here, and that has created a lot of anger in him towards Solomon because he feels like Solomon doesn't deserve it. Like, why should Solomon deserve it and he doesn't deserve it, and, all this stuff. So basically, that's what he's thinking, is that he could just take it. He could take it because now he knows something about Solomon that is so unacceptable that Solomon would be shunned by their society. That's what it is. So that is what's happening here. Solomon is aware that Elliot is not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, is not going to cut him any slack, is not going to help him because he knows his brother. He knows his brother. And so all he can hope for is that somehow Bernard, the love of his life, does not get dragged into everything with him. If Solomon goes down, he just doesn't want Bernard to also go down. So, of course, Elliot comes over and finds Humphrey out and about. And he's like, Humphrey, I really need to talk to you about something. I need to tell you. And so he starts talking to Humphrey about Solomon and about Solomon's situation, and basically saying, Solomon is a corrupting influence. He doesn't have our values, all this like really gross stuff, because obviously that is so awful. But Elliot is going to twist Humphrey's like really intense sense of duty and loyalty and these puritanical values. Like, Humphrey is in it. He is drinking the Kool-Aid, and he wants to be perceived as this person who is, the epitome of those values. And so when he hears Elliot kind of telling him that Solomon may be, trying to convince others to stray from the path as well, Humphrey is furious. He is furious about that because he is like, how could someone be trying to corrupt my people? All this stuff. Like, he is not happy about it. And Elliot, to his credit, he wants to take from Solomon. He doesn't have any beef with Bernard. So he does leave Bernard out of it. He does. And that is like the only good person thing he does here, is that he actually does leave Bernard out of it. So of course Humphrey storms off and immediately goes to Solomon to, scold him and be like, you need to get your act together. You need to start acting the way you're supposed to, all this other stuff. And of course Solomon is being punished and is put in the stocks for the day. Of course now rumors start flying around. Everyone knows, because, secrets don't stay secret for very long. So everyone knows that Solomon has strayed from what they consider allowed. And so, he's being publicly humiliated about it. And it's awful. And, like, obviously, I think that this is terrible. But, like, I could imagine something like this happening back then. I was doing some research and, like, people got thrown in the stocks all the time. So, just the fact that, he's being publicly humiliated in this way, and now everyone, of course, knows about that he is gay, and now, he's been outed against his will and everything. So, of course, Sela, who is his fiance, is furious because she was kind of using him also in a way. Like, he was always her ideal man because she didn't really know him. Like, she put him on a pedestal and she hyped him up and she didn't really know him. And then she finds out that he's gay and she is so mad that, not only that he let it get to this point and humiliated her as his fiance, but also that, the man that she put on this pedestal is not who she thought he was. Like, he did not live up to her expectations. So she breaks up with him. Then, after that, we are going to have Elliot, go over to the Phelps's house because he wants to officially propose to Jane, even though he already did that. But he's going to come over here. And of course, all of them decide to go to bed as soon as he gets here. But I'll just tell you what happened. So Elliot comes over here and he wants to talk to them. And, obviously they've heard about what happened with Solomon and everything. And they are kind of like, I don't know, Elliot, like, you're kind of close to some rumors here. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm the one who said something. Like, I am the one who has Humphrey's ear. I'm the one who, is the victim here. Like, he very much was protecting his own image in a way. And so he is going to use that to his advantage and say, like, look, I get the house now. I get the money now. I get everything now. Solomon gets nothing. I get everything. And Solomon is now a social outcast. So that is what happens there. So of course he comes over and tells them that he is now the heir to the household and everything. And he's like, so I would like to officially ask for Jane's hand in marriage. And of course her parents are they're like, mm-mm. But of course in the end they're like, well, you did get what you needed there. You did get what you wanted there. And you did come back to us as the heir of the household. And not even that, like, he's not just getting 2/3, he's getting the whole shebang. So they're like, all right, well, you did it. Like, you can marry our daughter. So Elliot and Jane are now engaged. So I'm so happy for them, actually. I think Elliot is a trash human because of what he's done, but I do like him and Jane together, as I mentioned last time. And then I forgot what I was doing here for a second, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, I guess I'll start taking birthday pictures. And I was like, wait a second, the year's not over. What am I doing? So anyway, we're going to head over to the Meta Comet family now. So we're going to head over to this household because Sokonon has had enough. She has had enough. She's sick of Anawan, and she's sick of Odalina, and she's sick of all this drama, and she can't take it. And so she's going to yell at Anawan. They've been having arguments for months. And she's like, ever since she moved in here, my life has been hell, even more so than it has been. And I just can't take it anymore. And so basically, Sokonon decides to divorce her husband. She's like, we're done. We're done. I'm not interested in this dynamic anymore because it is so unfair to me and I shouldn't have to live like this. And so she does divorce him. And then, we'll set him to hot-headed now. That was a personality change. And it's like, you know what? You're right. So she is really done with that, and she's actually going to go move in with Bernard to help take care of her nephews. Obviously, she still has kids here, but like they're like literally 10 steps away from each other. But she cannot live in this house with Odalina anymore. So of course, Odalina immediately moves in, and it's like, well, we can get married now. Like we can be legit now. And so Odalina comes over here, and her and Anawan are going to get married. So her and Anawan married, although I don't think I changed. No, well, I guess I don't really have to change it on the spreadsheet because they were already here, but let's change it on the spreadsheet. But anyway, yes, they are now married. Sokanon has been pushed out by Odalina. Very cruel of her. Not good at all. But that's just the way it is. So these two are married, and then we're going to do some birthday stuff. We actually have a ton of birthdays today. So let's start going through them. We have Amity Hobart becoming a toddler, Chayton Waldrick becoming a toddler, Ahanu Metacomet becoming a child, Esther Hobart becoming a child, Philip Hobart becoming a teenager. He is our kid that is still left in Windenburg. Abigail de Mohun becoming a teenager, Priscilla de Mohun becoming a teenager, Abraham Larkin becoming a teenager. I think I wrote this down wrong on my thing here. What the heck? Teen. Yeah, you guys are teens. Wait a second. What did I do here? Yeah, they're all teens. And then Tabitha Hobart was born and became an infant. Aquina Metacomet became a teenager. Janice Phelps became a child. Jacqueline Phelps became a child. And then Nyla Metacomet became a toddler. So that is a lot of birthdays for this year. And lots of stuff happening. So next year, I don't think we have any crazy birthdays. I mean, we have Humphrey, but we'll see what happens there. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Margaret's birthday isn't until 1636. I don't know why I thought it was sooner. Oh, but in a couple of years, public school will become open, so we'll see where we go with that. But yes, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I know that sometimes it's hard to talk about certain topics, but I do want to try to include things while at the same time being respectful and being, as accurate as I can, but also I don't want to cause any, triggering feelings for anybody. So all that to say, it is going to be okay. All of my sim, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. But it's going to be okay. Solomon's going to be okay. So, as long as he doesn't roll to die, this is the worst thing that's going to ever happen to him. So, he's going to move forward from this. So we will see what happens with him, and even with Bernard, because he has kind of had to stay away from Bernard recently as to not, arouse any suspicion around Bernard, because he doesn't want Bernard to be implicated in anything. And yeah, we'll see where things go for them, and also for our main characters. Everyone's a main character right now, honestly. Everyone is. But yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying, and I will catch you in the next one.